Hi, Gabe here, and thank you for your interest in the Swiss Army server. In this tutorial, we're going to deploy our server to DigitalOcean. We're going to start by creating a new project. I'm just going to call it SAS Test, give it a description, and then as a purpose, I'm going to go just with I'm trying out DigitalOcean. Once we create our project, we are going to go and create a droplet, which is the machine where the actor server is. Leave everything as default, but make sure you select the $5 a month option. I'm gonna set my server in London because that's the nearest it is to my place. Once you create the droplet, we're just gonna have to wait for it to boot up, and then we're gonna try and connect to the console. You can see that as soon as the server boots, you're gonna receive an email confirming that your server is up, and it's gonna also give you some login access details. So you can check that the server is up by going into the console and checking that something is actually running. We're gonna create now an empty folder. I'm gonna create mine on the desktop, but you choose the best situation for yourself. I'm gonna call it SAS Test, and I'm gonna create a new GitHub repo in there. So I'm gonna unzip all the server files in there and open GitHub. Gonna create a new repository, give it the name that we just chose, and select the folder that's enclosing said repository. Make sure you use Node.js as your git ignore. You can check that everything is fine by going to the history and checking that the files are actually there, and now we can publish the repository. Once it's online, we're gonna have to get the location of that repo for our DigitalOcean droplet. Once you log in into GitHub and you go into your project, you can see that you can clone using HTTPS. We're gonna launch the console and use the details that we received to actually log into the machine. The first thing that you're gonna be asked to do is to reset your password. Make sure your password is long enough. I didn't, and I had to change it twice. Once we're there, we're gonna have to clone our repo. So again, copy the address and use git clone and then your repo to clone that repository into the machine. You're gonna be asked to log in. And then we're gonna use npm install to install our stuff. As you can see, we don't have npm installed by default, so we're gonna have install everything that our server needs to run. You'll find the commands here on the left, and in the order it's going to be apt update, install Node.js, then we're going to install npm and pm2. Finally, we're going to install our server into the machine. pm2 is a process manager. We're going to use that to keep the server alive while we're not connected to the console. It's going to make sure that if the server crashes, it's going to start again, and it's gonna handle everything that you need to handle for a server to run. The very last step that we need to take is to open up the port where the server is actually running, and to do that we're gonna enter the following command after everything is installed: sudo ufw allow 2211. And we can finally start the server using pm2 start npm space dash dash space start. That's it. We're done with the setup of the server. We can just now configure, Unity to talk with the server. So let's go back into our console and copy the IP address where our server is running in the world. We're just gonna paste it instead of localhost, change nothing, and just press play. You can see that now all your usual commands work, but now they're working on the cloud. You're done! You're now able to deploy your SAS server online and let other players in the world access your multiplayer game. See you next time. Bye bye!